Mission trips are undergirded with theology. And the theology that I love about mission trips is all about accompaniment and walking with those in the community that you go to serve, walking with the people who are part of the group. And the adult leaders are very much a part of embodying that kind of theology of walking together.
Yes.
Can you say more about the role of adults in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can't understate the importance of having good adults on a trip. And I really try to spend a lot of time talking to our adults about how they really set the tone. So we went to New Orleans last summer. It's really, really hot in New Orleans. I mean, hotter than we get humidity here in Cleveland. It's like you walk outside and it's like you're walking into a blast furnace. And you like walk outside, you're like, all right, I'm done. That was fun. I'm gonna go back inside now and we'll work tomorrow. But that's not the case. You got to go out and work in it. And you are literally like the sweat is just pouring off of you, and that can really upset adults. Adults don't normally like to be like sweat pouring off their bodies all day long, and so that causes them to say things and react and become like these grumpy monster beasts. And then the kids, who I truly believe teenagers are the biggest sponges in the world. The things you say, the things you do, the way you act, they are constantly soaking it in, and they will take that and they will use that to affect their attitude for the day. And so I always tell our adults, the way you come out of the gate every day is going to set the tone for the rest of that day. So if you come out and you're tired and you're grumpy and you can't wait to get home to your own bed and boy, it's hot, then you're going to be dealing with a group of teenagers who can't wait to get home to their bed, who are noticing how hot and sweaty they are all day long, and you're not going to have a good time. But if we come out of the gate excited and energetic and thankful for the opportunity to be here serving this community and energized and motivating, I think, and we've seen this, I mean, that the results are just so incredibly different, and that the experience that day is so incredibly different, because once we all recognize that we're enduring the same hardships,
right?
that it's like, you're hot, well, I'm hot too, so sorry, buddy. That we find that we're here to serve, and we look past all that stuff.
Well, and it sounds like that just plays into a realization that it's not just this group on this week.
Right, exactly.
That's doing this work.
And that's such a hard thing for our adult leaders to get. I had an adult leader, I'll never forget this, a couple years ago. We went to Oklahoma, and for a day, we were serving on the Cherokee Nation, and it was right after the tornadoes had struck in Moore, Oklahoma, and a couple other places. And we had set up the opportunity to go and do some tornado relief work for a day with another church. And we got out to this, literally a disaster zone. I mean, we were there a week after these tornadoes hit, and it literally looked like a war zone. And so we were all kind of shocked by that. And literally, for a day, we were simply moving debris from a family's home. Their home had been completely wiped out, and we were just literally moving debris to a pile. And it was 117 degrees. And we don't get to 117 very often here in Northern Ohio. So when you take a bunch of people from Northern Ohio to 117 degrees, there's chemical things that happen in their head, and then people start getting kind of really. It's that Snickers commercial. If I would have had 100 Snickers, I could have handed out that day, because people were in bad shape. And I'll never forget. My job is to take the temperature, literally and figuratively, of the whole situation and say, how are the kids doing? Are kids starting to peter out? Maybe we need to take a break. And so recognizing that on a youth mission trip is so important. And I'll never forget, we broke for lunch. The kids were done. They were spent, and we said, let's just go to lunch now. And I had an adult leader who he was losing his mind. He's like, why are we breaking? He's getting really frustrated. And I said to him, man, hey, listen, these are teenagers. They got a break, And we really had a good conversation about that, and this leader and I, he came up to me later that day and he goes, I'm really sorry, I overreacted. I wanted to be there, I wanted to help, and I was so I was so passionate about seeing what had happened to these people's homes, and I just wanted to help them. And I didn't take time to recognize that there's 70 kids here that we got to also worry about and their health and their safety. And so what we've tried to really get across to our adult leaders is that we're not going to finish these jobs. We're not going to completely change the lives of these people in the 1 week that we're there. But if we're able to move that process forward, even just a little bit, we're going to be able to leave that week knowing that we have accomplished something and accomplished something big. And I think that is so important for your adults and for your students to recognize and to understand.
Right. And that kind of attitude is also really helpful for the people that you're serving, because really it's about their accomplishment.
Yes.
And we are assisting in that accomplishment. And so it gives the bigger view that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
And we're walking alongside each other. And other groups will come after, and in this case, the homeowner will continue long into the future in their recovery.
Absolutely.